What's going on, guys? Today's video topic is going to be ceramic coating. Now obviously it's still the dead of winter. We're actually in a record snowstorm today. The reason I'm going to be doing a ceramic coat video is because I actually need to ceramic coat this ski. I just finished polishing it last week to the best that I could. There's still some flaws in the gel coat, but I don't want to dig it too deep. And I generally ceramic coat my skis once a year anyway. It's kind of how I maintain the shine and all that over the course of summer, of course with some maintenance and things like that, but you can actually see there's a lot of swirls on the plastic. I'm not going to be doing the RX-TX today. I'm mainly going to be focusing on the RX-PX because I did the polish and now there's nothing protecting the gel coat, so I want to get that done. Now some of you may be asking, why are you using ceramic coat? The new thing is paint protective film, PPF. I don't really care what the trend is for auto detailing. It seems like every auto detailer you talk to, it's like every time you bring your car in, they recommend some crazy $1,000 service or more. I don't follow it. I just do whatever works, and the ceramic coating has been flawless for me for the past 6 or 7 years now. It works great, it looks great, and it also does an awesome job at repelling water spots and salt stains and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. And right off the bat, I want to mention a few different types of ceramic coatings because it seems like you can pretty much buy whatever you want off of Amazon, and some of them actually aren't even ceramic coats. They're just something else that are just blended as a ceramic coat name. So I'm going to try to talk about that as well. But the first thing I want to do is kind of get prepped here, and we'll talk about the process. So any of you guys that watched my summer detailing video, you know that I use the hybrid solution ceramic spray coating. That's what I use to kind of upkeep the ski throughout the summer. At the start of the year, this is generally what I use here. It's a graphene coating. It's not pricey. I think I got it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. But I've been using that exact kit for the past 6 years or so. And it's been perfect. You'll notice that it has graphene in the name. And that's where I wanted to kind of dig into. Anytime you see a ceramic coating, it's either going to be a silicon dioxide, a graphene-based polysiloxane, a PTFE, which of course is also known as Teflon, or in some rare cases, titanium dioxide. Now the sprayable ones, which are PTFE, that's this one here. This is a PTFE-based ceramic coating. That's more user-friendly. It's not like the professional grade, so when you spray it on, even though it says it's good for 12 months or so, in the harsh water riding conditions, you're probably only going to get a few rides out of it. The ones you want to look at are the silicone dioxide or the graphene-based ones, which is this one here. And you'll notice because this kind here, the graphene, it always comes in like a small vial. With like a sponge applicator. Anytime you have a sprayable ceramic coat like this, it's most likely going to be a polysiloxane or PTFE Teflon coating. So we're going to be using the harder as in it's the harder ceramic graphene type coating today, and that's the one that generally lasts a little bit longer. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I generally do a graphene-based or a silicon dioxide-based ceramic coating at the start of the year, just because it lasts the longest. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and we'll dig into that. One of the benefits with using a ceramic coat instead of a wax is that you can actually use it on plastics as well, and it won't leave behind a white stain. If you've ever washed or waxed your ski, you'll notice you can actually see some here. That is wax that is left over. And if you get it on any of your matte black plastics, you'll notice it leaves a kind of a white stain behind, and that's just a buildup of wax. Of course, the only way to get that off is to clean it. Generally, you can use a wax remover or rubbing alcohol to clean it. But that's one of the best things about ceramic coating is that you can pretty much use it on any surface. You can also use it on clear surfaces. If you've ever done a headlight restore, you know that they typically will give you some kind of ceramic coating to put on the clear plastic after you've restored it. I'm going to be doing that here today because you can see this plastic looks like crap. There's just a lot of swirls and stuff. It's generally not best to polish clear plastics unless you have a very good process down, because all you're going to end up doing is fogging it and causing more damage. And then we also have these plastics here. Now, believe it or not, these are polished, and you can see they did not turn out too well. It's actually worse on camera. In person, it doesn't look as white and faded as it does here, but I'm still going to be putting the ceramic coating on these plastics as well. One of the nice things about ceramic coat is that you'll see here, this is some dock rash. It's very, very deep. Unfortunately, with polishing and compounding, that's as much as I can get out. It was much worse than this, but ceramic coat will tend to fill in those gaps, cracks. You know, I'll try to put an image up to show you what it does. But if you have like kind of flaws in your top coat, in this case, this is a gel coat ski, the ceramic will fill in all those scratches and stuff. It's not flawless, but it'll at least help, and it'll kind of make it look a little bit better. So we'll try to compare what that looks like afterwards. One other thing I want to note before we get down to the process is, of course, the prep work. Now, like I said, I did already polish this ski. If you're starting this from the scratch, you will need to at least decontaminate your paint. In this case, this hull here, this is a ST3, which means it's a fiberglass acrylic fiberglass with an acrylic top layer. You can see the separation there. So this is acrylic. It's not paint. It's not gel coat. You cannot wash this hull or wipe it down with rubbing alcohol, or else you will severely damage it. You keep that in mind, because a lot of people, I see a lot of detailers watching videos, and they'll wipe down these hulls with rubbing alcohol, not having any idea that they are completely destroying the acrylic. So keep that in mind if you're gonna be doing this process. The older skis, I forget which year they transitioned, you can find it in your owner's manual, will tell you if you have a gel coat finish or if you are on a acrylic. But back to what I'm saying, I already did all the prep work that I could possibly do on this ski. If you're starting from scratch, you want to decontaminate your hull, basically get away any like coatings or anything you may have. If you have wax on it, if you have a spray silicone or anything like that on your ski, you need to get that off. If you're going to be doing some correction, like polishing or anything, that's you're going to want to do that now. If you're not, if it's relatively new ski, or it's not in too bad a condition and you're just going to spray on top, you really just need to do your decontamination. Now, like I said, I am not a professional detailer. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you need a $4,000 dual action polisher and you need to do a 14-stage decontamination with $3,000 in chemicals. I despise that stuff. I think it's completely stupid. These skis are in a rough environment. It doesn't matter if you're going to be spending 3 weekends detailing it, because the first time you bring it out, you're putting it in dirty water, salt water, whatever anyway. This video is more just about giving you some protections. That way it looks great, it's easier to wash, things like that. Next thing to note is, if you are following this video to do your ski, you want to make sure that you are doing this especially if you're doing it outside, when it's not going to be raining for 12 to 24 hours or so. Whatever product you go with, and by the way, I will put this in the description. I'm pretty sure this is not the best out there. This is just one I've been going with for years. Whatever product you go with, just read the instructions on it. Some have a 12-hour delay until it can hit rain. Some are even 7 days. It really just depends. So you want to keep that in mind. I'm doing it in a garage here, so that's, I don't have to worry about that. But the other condition is that you do not want to expose your ceramic to direct sunlight when you're doing the application process. And I'll explain that once we get to actually putting it on the ski. But keep those conditions in mind. If you're doing this, you want to do it either on a cloudy day when it's not going to rain, or after sunset or something where you don't have to worry about direct sunlight exposure to the spots that you're applicating. All right, so we'll open the box here. You can see that we have our small vial. Remember what I said, anytime you see a ceramic coating with a small vial like this, that usually means it's the good stuff and not the temporary Teflon based stuff. We have a sponge here. This is going to be our applicator pad. Get that out of the way. Instructions that nobody's ever going to read. We have our polishing cloth. Keep this in mind, you will need to have that. You also, this is just a second one. And then we have gloves if you want to use this. This stuff, when it dries off, is like crystal. It's almost like a salt. So if you don't want that feeling, or if you don't want the crusties on your hand, you definitely want to use your gloves. And then if you look at the bottom, this is what we're actually going to be wrapping around our sponge to do the application. Like I said, when the stuff dries, it turns into almost a salt. So if you use your only application pad to wipe it on, this thing is going to get rock solid and you're never going to be able to use it again. So we are going to wrap one of these cloths around our application sponge, and that's how we're going to be doing the application. So I'm going to go ahead and stage the camera on a spot on the ski that we can do. I don't know if you can hear that, the ice is slamming into the side of the garage. When we do this, we're only going to be doing a small section at a time. You do not want to do the entire ski at once, and you'll find out why. So I'm going to focus in this general area. I'll probably do here, that way I can stage the camera, and I'll show you what we need to do. First things first, make sure your surface is clear of any dust or dirt. I just pretty much polished and cleaned this ski, so there's nothing in here, but there is some dust just from being in the garage. So clean microfiber, wipe away any dust or anything that's in the way. Next thing we need to do is prep our sponge. So we'll take one of the rags that they give us here. And what we're gonna do is wrap this around the sponge, just like so, and then we have our application surface here. So we can go ahead and open up the vial. Do this with 2 hands. At the vial open, notice there's a small cap on here. Open that up. We'll take our sponge, and all we're gonna do is put 3-4 drops on here. You don't wanna saturate it. 2, 3, 4. And now all we're gonna do is wipe it onto the surface that we wanna treat. Now we wait for it to dry for a few seconds. We're not going to wait a very long time. At some point you will notice it start to turn white. That means it's drying, and that's the perfect time. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait here for a few seconds. All right, once it starts to haze over, you're going to take your clean microfiber and literally just buff it down. And just from that one coating alone, I mean, you can see it just looks like wet. Relative to the rest of the ski, you can see it still has that kind of white haze, even though this was polished. It just looks brand new. So I'm gonna go ahead and stage the camera somewhere else, and I'll try to knock out the rest of the ski so you can see the process. But just remember, as you are going along, you do not want to do the entire ski at once and then go back and wipe it down. If the ceramic coat dries before you have time to kind of buff it off, it's going to look almost like orange peel. It's not going to look right. So do it at small sections at a time. Make your way around the ski. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Guys, there you have it. That looks so much better. It's a rich black. There's barely any fade left. It's not really meant to treat fade, but it does a fantastic job at doing so. Again, it kind of fills in all those gaps and nooks and all that small stuff, the defects you get in your gel coat, and it just, you know, it gives it that luster. It looks incredible. So I'm probably going to buff this maybe 1 or 2 more times, just because you can kind of see some of that orange peel very kind of weakly there. I mean, it's not even that bad, but I might still just go over it 1 more time. But I mean, just look at that. That is a very rich black. I wish I had pictures before when I picked this up in August or September, whenever we bought it, just to show you what it looks like. But by the way, I had to take the front thing off when I was doing my charge port install. I also did it while I was waiting for this to dry. But you can just see, I mean, that's a significant difference. So with this all finished, all I need to do now is kind of just maintain it through the summer. I'll use the Hybrid Solutions, which is the Teflon PTSE based coating, and it'll look like this all summer long. It's going to repel water perfectly, especially if you do it on your plastics like these up here. When the water splashes up on it, they basically the water just beads off and it looks like it wasn't even wet. So it does a fantastic job at it. And if you look up here where those small scratches were, you can still see some right there. So it didn't do everything, but the more shallow ones, all those scratches and stuff, the dock rash is basically gone. So super easy to put this stuff on. I think the whole process from start to finish, if I didn't include the polishing, compound, all that stuff, was probably about an hour, if that. So if you guys are interested, you know, this is something you can absolutely tackle on your own. Now, I want to mention the only reason I did the polishing and stuff on the ski, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the start of the video, was really just because this ski is older. The gel coat had a fade on it. If you're doing this on a relatively new ski, and when I say relatively new, I mean like 2020 and up, you're probably not going to have to do any finish correction, especially on that ski, because that's an acrylic ski. So you could just do a decontamination, wipe down, and then go ahead and apply your ceramic coating. So super easy stuff to work with. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, that's the end for this one.